Hi, Lisa Ann here from Whole Child Learning and Wellness, and thank you for joining me in this series of Transforming Your Child One Step at a Time. So in today's episode, we are going to look at what do you need to do before we even start addressing our children, and that is to be addressing ourselves first. So you are no good to your child if you are stressed out, overwhelmed, frantic, in chaos, scattered, or stretched too thin. Also know that all the things that you're going to do to address your child, or most of them, that you need to apply to your life and the life of the other members of your family, because this needs to be a family journey, not just a journey for one child. First of all, that one child's going to feel singled out, and he's going to see what everybody else is doing, and it's going to be very hard for compliance. But if the entire family is changing together, then the compliance is going to be much easier on the part of the child, and the entire family then is on a journey, and they're going to become healthy together. And because whatever's happening in your child, probably similar triggers is actually triggering or affecting the rest of your family, but perhaps the older, let's say the adults in the family, maybe they're not reacting the same way that the child is. But for example, if gluten needs to be taken out of the child's diet, probably needs to be taken out of everybody else's diet, because everybody else, maybe they're not having the same reaction to gluten, but gluten is probably affecting everybody in a different way, and so everybody just needs to take it out of their diet. So the first thing that you need to do for yourself is learn to do deep breathing. Okay, deep breathing, first of all, is because when we are moms and we are running around, we're probably not breathing deep enough. Oxygen is what is very nourishing to our whole body, and in fact, things like cancer cells thrive in an environment that lack oxygen. So deep breathing, so what you need to do is breathe in your nose, and you count to 4 as you're breathing in deeply, and then you hold it for 6 seconds. And then you breathe out on the count of 8. So you breathe in, out, okay, deep breathing. Now the next thing you need to do is check your stomach. Your stomach should be coming out, not up, okay? So when you're breathing, sometimes at first, it's going to take some breaths to relax that diaphragm so your belly can come out. Otherwise, if you're breathing, you find yourself going up like this, that is not deep breathing, that's still shallow breathing. So we need to breathe. We're expanding our stomach like we have a balloon in our stomach. So sometimes, even for me, to settle down, it takes me several deep breaths until that stomach is coming out. It actually works best when I'm laying down, because that's when you lay down, your body is more in a restful state, and then my belly tends to, is able to expand a lot easier. So you need to be doing deep breathing in the morning, at night, and take a couple, it doesn't take long, you can do it for 30 seconds, but mark a couple times throughout the day to do that, especially if you're frantic. Set a timer on your phone and just say breathe, okay? Maybe your kids can have fun with what kind of notification you're going to have for that. So the next one is gratitude. So, our bodies have 2 states of the nervous system, sympathetic and parasympathetic. The sympathetic state is the fight or flight, and the parasympathetic state is the rest and digest. Okay, so we need to be able to be in both states, but we need to balance and be able to come from one to the other. Well, I bet you that as a mom of crazy kids, you are probably in the sympathetic state and way too often, right? So we need to teach our body to switch over. But one thing that puts our bodies into that parasympathetic rest and digest state is gratitude. Okay, so having a gratitude journal, get a journal, and every day or when you wake up, the first thing that you should do is think about 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for. So being grateful and thankful is one of the best things that you can do to put yourself in a parasympathetic state. And every time you start to think about something negative, if you switch that thought into positive and be grateful for something, you're very much helping your body to recover, to heal. Okay, our bodies cannot heal if it's always in a sympathetic state. The next thing that you can do are baths. Okay, so I'm going to admit I haven't had a bath in a really long time, but a bath, especially with Epsom salt has magnesium. And you can do this for every member of the family, but it's very relaxing because magnesium is very relaxing. And then you can also put a couple drops of essential oil, and you can put a ritual around it, have nice music. But taking a bath is very soothing and it's very detoxifying. Another important thing to do is, if you're a Christian or a person of another faith, is to pray. Okay, prayer, again, not only is connecting you spiritually to God, but it's also putting you in that parasympathetic state as well, because it's, when we're praying, we are also more in that kind of gratitude mindset. Take a walk in nature. Okay, being in nature is very, we have all those negative ions that are out there. So taking your family out for a walk, out for a bike ride, and out for a hike, even if it's cold, even if it's drizzly, a little bit rainy. I mean, I know when it's wet, I don't usually like to go outside, but go out in nature a little bit every day. And that's one of the problems that we have as a society, is that we're not outside enough, so we're not getting the sunlight and we're not getting the negative ions from nature. And we're not being grounded. You can be in nature, go barefoot, okay? Walk around, kind of get in tune to the earth. Okay, the next thing you need to do is learn to ask for help, okay? Because you need help. You can't do it all on your own. You can't act like you're Superwoman or you're Supermom, even though you probably are, because you're listening to this podcast and so you're trying to figure out what to do, but you do need help. You need time away. You need maybe help with dinner, just some me time to go shopping without the kids, or whatever you need to do. But you do need to learn to ask for help, because more than likely you're the type of person, if you're anything like me, that tries to do everything themselves, and then that's actually not getting you anywhere, and that is going to be detrimental to your own health, and then it's going to reflect back on the kids. And exercise. You're probably thinking, when the heck am I going to exercise? But you know what? If you take all the kids for a walk, the exercise doesn't have to be vigorous. In fact, you don't want to be too intensive with your exercise. It breaks the body down. So, going for walks, again, going for bike rides, doing something, trying to incorporate the kids, or find a time when the kids are asleep, or ask for that help for somebody to watch your kids so you can go take a jog, or you can go do something, do some exercise alone. But you really need exercise, because exercise is going to help you, and in the long run, you're going to be able to help your kids. And my last piece of advice for this kind of prep process is, you need to make sure that you love your kids for who they are, okay? Because they can pick up on any negative energy. And even though I know that you love your children, but sometimes we might go through a resentment process, or we might, or maybe it's not at them, but maybe we are, we have that grievance that, because I remember when my kid was 3 years old, and all of a sudden it just kind of hit me that I kind of had that little grieving process, that my child isn't going to be like everybody else, and I'm not going to have he's not going to have those experiences that I was hoping for him to have. So we have to go through a grieving process, but we need to love them for who they are, because otherwise they're going to pick up on that negative energy, and it's not good for them. So we need to make sure that we establish and that we have a really good connection with our child, and we have and that we're really bonded, and it's okay to grieve, and it's okay to have those feelings, but we need to make sure that we are not it's not kind of going out towards them, that they're not picking up on it. All right, so I can't wait to see you in the next episode, where we start with our very first step of transforming our children one step at a time. Thank you.